Yeah.
We're continuing, yes.
The truth is that I read that before World War One, the mamish the shuls were full at night, and in every shul you went into, and in a Yiddish kehillah, he was full, was packed. I read in I think it was the Sefer Zichron Yaakov from Rabbi Yaakov Alevi Lifshitz, which was the secretary of Rabbi Yitzchak Elchanan, the Rekovner Rov. He writes that Shabbos morning, if somebody came to shul, they came 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. If he came a little bit late, he didn't find a place to sit. People came to shul Shabbos morning and they learned a few hours before davening. And you think it was hard, you think it was suffering. It was probably the biggest Arnik Shabbos that could be they had. Then later came the First World War, made a churban of the organized Jewish communities. And a lot went off the derech, and the kehillas were a lot weaker. Yet still, there were many shuls in Stivlach that were full of people that sat and learned. There was a lot of Torah all over them. Meir Shapiro, and there were a lot of Talmidei Chachomim all over. Meir Shapiro came up with an idea that there should be a daf-yomi. And the whole Klal Yisrael should learn the same daf. Maybe besides there are other starim in learning. And he said, and then what will happen is if one person meets somebody else in a different country, they'll always have what to talk and learning because they'll always be learning the same daf. I think that was his main goal in this whole union of daf-yomi was that everybody will be holding in the same union. So there'll be more, the connection between people through Torah will be a lot stronger. I see it nowadays when two B'nai Torah meet one another, they don't always have what to talk and learning about because it's a very weak door, and if somebody's not mamish holding in the union that the other one is learning, it's very hard to discuss it with him. And that's why you have to find easier things to be able to talk about. Like I once sat with somebody on the bus, somebody Ben Tar that lives on Rachava Caplan, and he starts talking to me about Ksuvas Daftes, a famous Indian that every yeshiva boy learned. It was very hard for me to follow and to answer him because I wasn't in the union. At least if he would have talked clear, I think I could have got into the union on the spot. But so much that's a separate talk by itself. How you have to say things and how you have to make things clear. And now you have to talk b'derech Torah so that it should be make it easier for the other person to answer you. But I always say that there's a special chelik of b'lechtach of haderech to talk easier things. Meir Shapiro said, if everybody be learning the same time, they'll always be able to talk and learning with one another. And my brother-in-law, Harav Agon Rabban Shal Kol B'nei Hagola Rab Moshe Levi, so he said that the whole daf-yomi was made for B'nai Torah that learn anyway. So on the side, they should learn a daf a day so that when they meet, they'll have what to talk about in that daf. I don't know how he knows, maybe, I don't know, but Chazaka, that he knows the truth. So, and what do we know? So that's what he said, and it makes a lot of sense. And that was his takona, that it should be like that. Okay. Now, the Ger Rebbe on Leil Rosh Hashanah, I don't remember what year it was, Tofresh Pei Beis, maybe, I'm not sure. So after Marav Avram Mordechai, the Rebbe, the Kadosh Elyon. So after Marv, he said, I'm going to start daf-yomi. There wasn't even such a thing yet, daf-yomi. So he said to his people, I'm going to learn daf-yomi. You know, they talk fast, boom, boom, boom. They give a shoot. From then on, you see how the koach of tzaddikim, the koach of following a tzaddik, that he just said one word and it became it. And then from then on, by Ger Chasidim, that's what you learn, daf-yomi, that's the thing they learn. So it started and it spread and it spread. Now, it went by a tkufa. When I was a child in the 1960s, and in the 1970s, it wasn't so known. What do you remember? They talked about daf-yomi in those years. I don't remember such a thing. All of a sudden, it was like it was betardemo. It was sleeping. There probably was a few that learned it, but it wasn't so widespread. It wasn't so known. And then it was in the 90s that all of a sudden it woke up. It gave a new beginning, and people started daf-yomi.
Rabbi Kaplan.
What?
I believe around Tov Shin Mem 1980, they started Kol Adaf, and it was already moving around then.
Okay. Could be. But there was definitely a tkufa of around 20 years that it was quiet. Now, then it gave a pick up again, and it started being spread. Shurim and learning daf-yomi. And more and more and more, there became such a thing, it became spread in learning daf-yomi. Nowadays, you could say, almost every shul has a shir in daf-yomi. In every community in Klal Yisrael that's mechabed itself, that wants to be Jewish and frum, has a shir in daf-yomi. And if anybody has a shir, and he tells other people that I have a shir, so they ask him, is it daf-yomi? And he'll answer, no. And he'll feel a little bit guilty or some kind of a guilt feeling. No, it's not daf-yomi. Now, I have been in many times, I don't say a shir in daf-yomi, but it has happened many times in my life that I've been asked to substitute for a shir of daf-yomi. My experience is like this. Now, when I was young, I thought you could just come in and read the daf. I used to do that. Sometimes I got stuck in the middle, and sometimes not. But I pretty much knew the Gemaras, and I was pretty much most of the time able to go through it without getting stuck. But I always came out with an empty feeling from racing through a daf Gemara, and from sitting there a full hour with the whole goal that's in your mind is let's finish a daf. Let's make sure we finish a daf. It's like a pilot is driving he's flying a plane, and he has to know where he's going to and what way takes him there. And his whole plan is according to where his destination is. And here our destination is Omid Bays on the bottom. That's our destination. And when we're learning the first part of Omid Aleph and the second part of Omid Aleph, we have in mind the last line of Omid Bays. I'm asking you, can you fully concentrate when you do that, when you have that in mind? And that was my experience all the time. And because of that, I used to come out with an empty feeling. Until I got older, and Hashem shined into me the greatness and the chashivus of preparation. And the understanding, and Hashem shined into me the understanding that even when you think you know it, you don't really know it. There's a lot more to know. There's such a thing as I would define it as there's two things. There's clarity and there's shining. You can have clarity, but it doesn't shine. When you chazer over something a few times, all of a sudden you feel it shines. I'm not going to go into at length what that means. I think everybody can understand themselves, and maybe we'll talk about it in a separate talk. But once you reach the level of it shines to you, so then when you say it over, you put in your whole chiyus into the saying it. The Torah, the Gemara becomes me'irim usmeichem, it shines. And it's lively. And I did that. And I heard this from Gedolim. I heard Rabbi Abramsky once said that before he says a shir, even a simple shir of Gemara to Balabatim, he prepares the Gemara 4 times. And then he says the shir. And I tried it, and I saw I got a new geschmack in saying, and I had new chiyus in saying the Gemara, and it came out a whole different shir. But miteva advarim is when you say a shir like that, you stop at certain places and you ask kaoras, you ask questions, or you try to explain, or you try to bring out what the depth of the Gemara is, what we would say without the Gemara, what the Gemara is showing us. You don't want to just read through the Gemara. You want to feel connected, like we said before. We want to be connected to the Gemara. And that's the main mitzvah of Talmud Torah. And as I said before, connected means two things, making it part of you and enjoying it. And you can only do that by stopping to explain, to ask, to question, to go deeper. And don't make a mistake and think that I'm coming to say that you can't learn a daf Gemara in an hour. Not true. You can definitely learn a daf Gemara in an hour. As the title of our today's talk was, is daf-yomi possible? The answer is yes, it is possible to learn a daf of Gemara and Rashi in an hour. But by yourselves, to learn it for yourself, so you can know how it has to be, how you have to learn it. And you can also judge yourself. How much did you understand? How much didn't understand? How much is missing in the connection to the learning? And if you feel that there is something missing in the connection, you'll fix it. You'll do it over again. You'll look over those pieces again. But when you're saying to a tzibur, and especially if the tzibur are people who didn't learn the Gemara before. And sometimes the people are people that are not Yoshvei Beis HaMedrash the whole day. And this is their main limud Torah. So the answer to that, if you would ask on that, is daf-yomi possible? The answer is no, it's not possible. Because usually daf-yomi is an hour, a shir of an hour. And to learn for an hour a daf Gemara, and to find a way to make a connection, people have a connection to the Gemara. You cannot go through a whole daf and create a connection to the Gemara for the people in 1 hour. And that's any piece of Gemara. It doesn't matter what it is, whether it's halacha or aguda or any other thing. And you should know, even the Gemara that seems simple, there's always what you can talk about. I remember I was learning the Gemara in Pesachim.
Rabbi Kaplan, we're taking a break now. Thank you.